I think it's fair to say, when I first started taking photographs, my images felt rather boring to me. I guess it felt like there was something missing, I suppose, from my photography. Now, I had all the things that I should have, had to make a good photograph, like a nice subject, decent light, and what I thought was a good composition. But somehow the images still weren't really grabbing my attention, if you know what I mean. And then I started doing something very simple that completely changed the way that I approached a scene. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video, because I think for me, it really did change the way that I think about photography. So I think rather than just finding something I wanted to photograph and immediately working out how to frame it, I started looking for something else, something that could work with my main subject and give the photograph a little bit more purpose. So essentially I started breaking my compositions down into two main parts, a main focal point and a supporting subject. Now, this does sound pretty simple, but over time I've found three different ways of doing this that have really helped me get much more out of this approach. So yeah, I just want to go through each of those as we make our way through this wonderful landscape that we've got here, and hopefully it might give you a few ideas to try the next time you're out with your own camera, and hopefully I'll capture some images along the way. It's absolutely beautiful out here, it really is. So it's so good to be back out in the hills once again. I'm really hopeful we can create some images today. Now we're in peak heather season as well, and this particular area is absolutely full of heather right on the top of this peak and right across the moorland that heads out over to the south. So I'm really hopeful we can get some nice heather shots. And it's quite moody, quite dramatic, lots of wind, lots of really dense cloud as well mixed in with the blue sky. So hopefully we should have plenty of opportunity for photos today. And I'm just hoping my path is not going to be too overgrown as we ascend this wonderful landscape. So the first thing that I started looking for was flow. So rather than just finding a subject and taking a photograph of it, I'd look around the scene for something that could visually lead my eye towards that subject. It could be a path, maybe a line of rocks, or even some movement in water, or even just something as simple as a shape in the landscape. I think the important thing is that the supporting subject isn't really competing with the main subject, it's helping to take you towards it. It shows the viewer where the main focal point is. And I think this was one of the biggest changes in the way that I actually approach composition. Instead of asking myself, what should I photograph? I just started asking myself, what can I find that helps this subject? So another really useful way of supporting your main subject is through framing. So once you've found your main subject, try and look around and see if there's something you can use to naturally frame it within the photograph. I guess it could be something like a tree or some rocks or an archway, or even something much more subtle in the foreground. And again, I think the supporting element works best when it doesn't immediately demand your attention. It's almost there to give the main subject a little bit more importance, if you will. I find that these kinds of photographs often feel more interesting because there are two things working together rather than just one obvious subject sitting in the middle of the frame. So I've made it up onto this wonderful plateau, this amazing moorland just here. It really is special. There's a real mixture here of gorse and heather, so colourful, it really does look nice. And I'm trying to frame a shot here using natural framing because I think it really suits this scene here. We've got an outcrop of rock on my left and the main focal point, which is the peak, which we'll be visiting in just a minute and hopefully shooting sunset. And yeah, what I'm trying to do here is wait for the light to fall in the right place. So ideally I want the light to be on my main subject. I want the viewer to know that's what I wanted to photograph. This here in the foreground is just to support my main focal point, and that's what I'm trying to get across here. So yeah, I'm framing this one up here some really nice heather as well as some nice grasses as well, which also point towards my main subject. So yeah, it is quite a complex scene, this one, but I think it works quite well. So yeah, let's get it set up and I'll show you a bit more. Yes, it really is about pushing this rock up here into the top left-hand corner just to help the flow of the image. So a lot of the boulders are kind of pointing all the way around to that top corner, and then I'm hoping the cloud is just going to help, you know, frame the top of the rock there, the rock being the brightest part of the scene. Anyway, let's go ahead and take this one, and then we'll move on up to the peak, because there's this amazing light back there that I really want to take advantage of. It looks incredible. I could talk about composition all day. And in fact, if you're interested in composition and like to learn a little bit more about how I approach my photography, I've got an ebook which is over 100 pages, tons of images, loads of examples, and lots of different techniques that you can use to create landscape photos. So if you are interested in that, I'll leave the link in the video description for you and the QR code on the screen so you can take a look at that. I've also got another ebook as well called Camera Technique, and it's basically how I approach my landscape photography in terms of camera technique. So lots of different things in there, like focus stacking. There's some practical advice as well, and some little tips and tricks to help you, create better images. So if you are interested, do please go and check it out. And I also want to say a massive thank you to everybody that have got in touch recently asking about how my shoulder is. It is doing a lot better. I've seen a physio and I'm doing exercises and lots of other different things to help strengthen it, which is really good. And yeah, it's a lot better than it was. It's still a bit uncomfortable when I lie on it during the night, so I'm trying to stay off my right shoulder during my sleep, but it's easier said than done, isn't it? But yeah, things are a lot better than they were, so big thanks to everybody for sending in your messages. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, let's make our way to this peak and we'll see if we can get some moody shots looking back that way. As you might notice, I've got the rain jacket on because I'm expecting some rain, because it looks pretty dark over there. So another way that I like to support my main subject is through using gesture. And this is slightly different because the supporting subject doesn't necessarily have to frame or lead towards the main subject. It can simply interact with it in some way. Maybe there's a branch that points towards something, a wave moving in a particular direction, or two elements that visually echo off of each other. And I think that's where photography can be really interesting. You're no longer just recording two things that happen to be in the same scene, you're looking for a relationship between them. That relationship might be obvious or it might be really subtle, but when you find it, I think it gives a photograph another reason to exist. So we finally made it to the top, and what spectacular views we have in front of us. It really is beautiful. Now, this particular location is another hill fort. Now, I say this quite a lot in my videos, but so many of the hilltops in this area all had forts on them. It really is incredible. There's so much history here, it's just unreal. And I'm actually thinking about doing a photography project in this area coming very soon, so I'll talk a little bit more about that in the coming weeks. But yeah, this used to be a fort, and you can still see the old wall here just in front of us. Just kind of gets the mind thinking, doesn't it, about what used to happen in these sites, around the country. Absolutely wonderful. Anyway, time to get my final composition sorted out for sunset. See if I can make an image. It's come across real moody and miserable, I have to say, but I'm hopeful that's going to break and we're going to get some nice light. Who knows? I'm sure something will happen. Stunning just to be out anyway. It really is. So what an amazing spot this is, it really is. Fantastic views all around me. Now I think it's one of those rare occasions where a wide angle lens might be better suited, because there's lots of foreground interest here, lots of heather growing between these limestone rocks we've got here, and it looks great. but I've just been a little bit too tight with my standard zoom lens. So yeah, it's one of those rare occasions where the wide angle might have been just a little bit better. Now I have ordered one, I'm just waiting for it to come, so it might be a place that I revisit maybe next year when the heather's blooming again, and yeah, I can make some images with a wide angle because I think it could be really cool. Now, as we were talking about gesture, I found a little scene here that I've just sort of framed up, and it's a 16:9 framing, and I think it works quite well because there's a rock on the left and it just points slightly towards the headland there back in the distance. So we've got a bit of a gesture towards it and to try to connect my foreground to the background. Some lovely light out there, there's a real drama and mood in the sky as well. So yeah, I'm going to go and get a shot set up here, take this one, frame it up 16:9. I've also taken a couple of other shots as well, just a bit further down there. There's some wonderful bilberries that are really deep orange colour, and I've been playing around with a few different compositions down there, so I'll show those after I show this one. But yeah, I think this is a lovely little spot here, and I definitely want to revisit it. It's just absolutely amazing. What an incredible day it's been, absolutely beautiful. I do hope you got something from this video, and please do go and check out those ebooks. It really does help to support the channel, and there's loads of information in there that might help you out. I've had some really positive feedback about them, so yeah, feel free to go and check them out. It would be a massive help keep the lights on. Anyway, big thank you for watching this video, and as always, please do take care and hope to see you again next week.